everybody, here's the captain from trafficpartner.com, and I'm here today with Jason Hunt from Merged Media. Make some noise! Oh, Jason, how are you? Good?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Good to see you again. I know under these conditions, it's usually not this long from seeing you from time to time again. We're usually seeing each other at a trade show of sorts.
Yeah. So many cool travels we had together. Like remember so many parties and rap events, whatever we made together.
You know what one stands out, man? One that stands out is definitely Tokyo.
Yeah.
When we were in Tokyo together, I'm never going to forget that night. I know I'm kind of breaking into a story here right off the bat and messing with your whole structure here, but that was a fun night, man, because I know you're the party animal. You're always out there. You're the last one to go to bed, first one up. Everybody knows that. But in Tokyo, I remember you were so tired and you were hammered by the jet lag. And I had to literally like pretty much get you out of your room to come out for one last night in Tokyo. And we ended up meeting a bunch of random Japanese salarymen and people we never even knew. And I just remember spending a late night with you, with those people. And we had a blast, man. It was a great night. I remember hanging out in a random whiskey bar in Japan, talking about life. Just, it was awesome, man.
Two aliens in Tokyo. Yeah,
100%, man.
And tequila shots and everything. But let's start with your person today. And for the people who don't know you, what is your history in the industry? How do you came to the online marketing, and what you're doing now, and what is Merged Media doing? So it's
sure. Cool, man. So I guess my marketing history started back in probably like 2005 when I was living in Japan at the time, and I had a rock band in Japan, and we weren't very good. We were pretty mediocre. I'm a terrible singer, but using the likes of MySpace at the time and SoundClick, I was able to manufacture a small tour of Japan, which was pretty cool with my band. And that lasted for a few years. And then when I came back to Canada, I ended up getting a job with Grand Slam Media. So I went to high school with Luke Hazelwood, who's the CEO and founder of Grand Slam Media. And so I was working there. I was the first employee hired back in 2011. So now we all know how much that company has grown to today. So they've seen a lot of success. But that was where I got my feet wet in the industry. That's where I got to meet the likes of yourself and get to travel the world and do all that fun stuff. So that was that's where I got kind of involved in the traffic and got to build a lot of relationships in that space. And then I started my own company back in 2016 called Fresh Crowd, which is a social media agency, working with businesses and leveraging Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising. And then last year, I merged my social media agency with the leading SEO company to form Merged Media. And that's where we are today. So we're working with a lot of big brands, some brands in the adult space as well, but a lot on the mainstream side of the business, doing a lot of Facebook, Instagram ads, and leveraging that SEO organic traffic and retargeting that traffic with quality social media ads.
Yeah. So, of course, the classical SEO is important if you see Google, but also, for example, I checked out when I do social media on YouTube, it's some kind of SEO also. You need to know how works the algorithm. The same with Instagram and Twitter. So it's about social media, hashtagging, SEO. So which services you offer to a company? If I come to you and ask you, what can you do for my product on social media especially?
Yeah, I think the big thing here and the big misconception is Facebook leads. When you get a lead from Facebook, it's not really a lead. It's more like we're trying to get you to have a conversation or we're trying to warm up that audience. A lot of people out there, we work with a lot of different businesses, whether it be cleaning companies or adult companies that want members for their pay site. It doesn't matter, but a Facebook lead is not quality. You have to nurture it. The idea is I want to send you somebody that could be a potential sale down the road, but they might not be ready to buy right now. So to you, I would say, hey, let's generate Facebook leads and let's get them off of Facebook. Let's get them over to an email list. Okay. No matter if Facebook could shut down tomorrow and you lose all your followers. Instagram could shut down tomorrow. You lose all your followers. You are not going to lose those people on your email list. So you get them over to your email list, and now you can really start to nurture that process. Get them on your email list, upsell them certain deals or offers, and you can do a lot of things with them on email. But really, Facebook is really powerful to get them off of Facebook. and get them to your email. So that would be my suggestion, is running sort of a Facebook ad campaign. Now, keep in mind, this is one of the challenges with this, is Facebook is getting better and better at detecting inauthentic activity, bots, black hat stuff. Like, Facebook's getting better and better at detecting that, and it's making it more and more challenging for black hat marketers on the platform. So my suggestion, and I've always been a white hat Facebook guy, is to play it safe and play by the rules. So a perfect example, if you want to get somebody over to your adult pay site, is enticing them with something that's very, very much kind of, I want to say pedestrian, very safe for Facebook. Like, what are your favorite horror movies? Top 5 best horror movies of 2020, and get people to opt in. And now you send them this PDF over email. And then your next email could have some additional adult offers included in it, right? It's just getting them off of Facebook, not trying to sell them adult content on Facebook, but sell them that adult content on email. Just get them off of Facebook over to your email. But now that whatever that white paper or lead magnet that you use on Facebook needs to be enticing, and obviously needs to matter and be relevant to the audience that you're trying to target.
Okay, so it's like Facebook and other social media is like the hook to bring them in your own private area for websites, and then with the email list.
2.7 billion people on Facebook, man. There's a lot of people on there, and I guarantee you your target audience is there.
Yeah, for sure. And then about Instagram, how important is Instagram instead of Facebook to getting customers to your product or to your email list?
Yeah, great one. So, I mean, it's the same platform, essentially, Facebook, Instagram, but the demographic is a bit different. So on Facebook, you're getting mostly, it's an older demographic, but also people that have that tendency to stop scrolling through content. A lot of those people on Facebook are actually stopping on your content, reading the copy, deciding whether or not it's a good idea to take that action, click that call to action button to go to your site. Whereas on Instagram, obviously pretty much 100% mobile. So it's image based or video based. So it's very much like people are going to make a decision on whether or not they want to go to your page based off that image and creative that you're using. So there's a higher emphasis on the actual creative that you're using on Instagram to get them over to your site. But keep in mind, this is what you have to keep in mind, is people don't want to ruin or interrupt their social media experience. There's so much noise out there that you really need to differentiate yourself. You need to capture their attention and have an offer or something enticing enough to get them to click and go over to your site. Okay. A lot of people miss the mark because that website that they send the traffic over to is not optimized for that social media experience. Right. And what happens is, if you a lot of people just send traffic to a generic website. If you send traffic from Instagram or Facebook to a generic site, and that user goes there and doesn't have that experience they're expecting, and they bounce, well, that gives signals back to Facebook or Instagram that this was not a good experience for that user, and your ad cost is going to go up.
Okay. Well, that's a good insight of you. I think a lot of people should think about how to create their landing pages then. If we come over to Twitter, like, when you see the US president, or even now everybody's Twitter, for example, I don't see Twitter so much in Europe. Of course, people use it here, but how you see the influence for Twitter to make affiliate business out of it? How is it about Twitter?
Yeah, so I mean, Twitter's not really my jam. I'm on Twitter, I post on Twitter, but if you really want to benefit from Twitter, in my opinion, you have to live on the platform. You have to engage in the conversations with people. Just posting content on Twitter is not going to really garner a lot of results. In my experience, working for clients, when we're posting on Twitter, the click-through rate is not high. It's very, very low. But the way to use that platform, and I tell this to people, if I'm like, hey, if I'm going to run paid social for you, or paid ads, or run social media campaigns, let me do Facebook and Instagram. You take care of your Twitter, because you can engage in conversations with those people that are your ideal clients and have that back and forth. I can't do that on the same level that you can with those people that you want to connect with.
And then the big question always is, even for me and on my social media, how to use hashtags right. How many hashtags, and have it more be generic, like hashtag travel, hashtag music, or have it to be more special, make it a different if I have big letters, small letters. So can you give us a little more inside view to the hashtags, how to work with them?
Sure. Yeah. So, and to be honest, I mean, I find hashtags, at least on Instagram, you're not going to, and you can see this for yourself. Take a look at your insights and see how much of that traffic that's seeing your content are coming from hashtags. Now, I've read multiple things. One thing I've read is 11 is the magic number of hashtags to put in a post. Some people say use them all. I think you have up to 30 options, or you can use 30 hashtags. And also keep in mind, like at least in North America, I don't think people have that tendency to search through hashtags. I've also read that it's much more popular in Europe to use that method of search on Instagram. But I found, at least for myself, in my content, a very, very small percentage of people are seeing my content through hashtags. So I don't put a lot of weight on hashtags on Instagram. Don't use hashtags on Facebook. Nobody's searching hashtags on Facebook. But really, the best way to leverage Instagram content is, don't ghost. Don't post and ghost. That's the thing, is I think there's a small window of opportunity there that after you put up a piece of content, you wait. You wait about 10 minutes, see if you get any responses, and try to start conversations within the comments of that post that you just put up there. Okay, that's one way if you want to get more reach and more engagement. As well, don't just be somebody that posts content on Instagram. Go out on Instagram and actually build your community. Use your Instagram DM and send direct messages to people. Be authentic. Don't use bots. Okay? Bots were so 2018. It was a great way to grow your Instagram account, but Facebook got really good at cracking down on that Instagram automation, where, nowadays the Instagram automation tools are not as powerful as they once were. That following that you have, it's really tough to grow, but that's okay. I would rather have 5,000 engaged followers than 5 million not engaged.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, quality pays out on the long term always. That's why you said you're a white hat. And for example, when I was an SEO, and it's a long time ago, but I did a lot of black hat, and it works for a time, and I make sometimes my money. But on the long term, I lost everything I worked on it, because black hat is the fast money there, and white hat, you really build up a strategy. So then for the young generation, I always call this, there's the Snapchat and TikTok, and both community I'm not really active on. After our last conference, I started a TikTok, but I have other jobs to do than be a TikTok star. So tell us a little bit how a company can work on Snapchat and TikTok to make this as a channel for promoting their products.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm going to talk specifically to TikTok because I have more experience on that platform. And, TikTok's starting to release it available for advertisers to leverage paid advertising on it. But, I think it's a play where you can remain consistent with a certain type of audience. Not everybody's on TikTok, but there is a lot of attention on TikTok. So yes, the younger demographic is there, but let's be honest, the older demographic is there as well. I'm older, I'm on the platform, but I'm also not seeing videos of 17-year-old girls lip singing. That's not the content that I'm served on the platform, which a lot of people think that's the content that's on the platform, but it's really not. There's some really good content on TikTok, but the behavior of people on TikTok, it's very short videos. People get addicted to it because they don't want to miss that next video. So they keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And you'll find 2-3 hours are gone and you've consumed so much content. But what I found is people don't have that tendency to want to leave the platform. So I think TikTok is a really good play for brand awareness and getting people aware of your product. I'm not sure how effective it's going to be to get people clicking to another site, to a purchase site or anything like that. That's my opinion. I think it's a really good platform for raising that brand awareness. It's a fun platform. And for users, it's such an easy platform to create video content. But then again, Instagram came out with Reels, which is basically the same thing as TikTok. So it's interesting to see where that's going to go.
Yeah, and it's the new generation. After 15 seconds, everything is done. So you need to have really a deep impress and a short video. Normally, I come from an older generation. For me, a good video is about 1 minute or 90 seconds. And now it's coming down to the next generation. It's 15 seconds. Let's see how this ends.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think. It's crazy to think how the world is changing, how the generations are changing, because I'm like you, Andy, man. I like to take a moment. If I'm going to consume a piece of content, I'm going to consume a piece of content. Yeah. But the new generation is the way the platforms are created, the way the algorithms work. It's really geared towards people with a very short attention span. People don't have the time to look at a 1-minute video anymore. You know, your son is not looking at a 1-minute video. My kids are not going to be consuming a 1 minute. They just want something short and quick. It's funny. You know, I'm just thinking about it now. Have you ever seen the movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes?
Yeah.
Old movie from like the 90s.
Yeah.
It's what used to be one of my favorite movies, but it's funny because they were trying to predict the future. And one of the things they predicted in that movie was that there's not going to be 5-minute songs anymore on the radio. It's going to be like 20-second, 30-second jingles, right? And that's, oh, here's this great jingle. I love this one. But that's what's happening now with the world, is the attention span is just so short on this new generation coming up. So it's interesting to see how all the platforms sort of gear or change or evolve to facilitate this younger generation.
Well, this is a good tip for music producers. Now your next song, less than 30 seconds.
That's right. Right? 100%, man. 100%.
I imagine if some famous musicians start to make songs with 30 seconds, perhaps this will be the big new trend in the music industry.
Somebody's going to disrupt the music industry. Maybe it should be you. Maybe you should disrupt.
Well, I go soon in the studio again. So, of course, we are in Corona times, so I want to talk a little bit about Corona, the influence on our industry is that we don't have any B2B convents, and the shows are mostly canceled and changed to virtual. You visit some of the virtual shows, so how was your experience, how it was for you on a virtual show?
For the shows that I've been to in the past, like, the virtual shows, well, man, nothing's going to beat the face-to-face. I personally love the travel aspect of this business, and I love going to shows. You know, I've been fortunate enough to work with some of those events like the DMI Expo and like TES. So I do miss that aspect of it. You cannot, we can have these virtual shows, but we can't go and have a drink at the bar after and really talk and get to know each other. It's just not the same. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I miss. But the virtual shows are doing a decent job. I mean, they're more convenient. They're saving people a lot of money, and you can kind of pick and choose when you want to attend a certain event or not. Like it's very flexible. I like it. I've attended a lot of them. I've presented at a lot of them, and some of them are taking it to the next level where they're having pretty cool experiences. Like I moderated Allo events recently, Affiliate Leaders Online, and they did a really good job of having like some TV sitcoms mixed in with the entire event. I've seen events where you can go to speed networking and you can actually see the people that are sitting at a table before joining. You don't usually have that ability when you go to a physical speed networking event. It's like, okay, I'm going to sit here for 5 minutes to talk to these 5 people.
I like that also. This function was a little bit like chat roulette, and you can easily skip them. In real life, even if on a speed networking, you have 1 minute, but here you could skip after 5 seconds if you see it's not matching. So it'd
be pretty cool
for business.
It'd be pretty cool if like speed networking, but people are on a conveyor belt. It's just like, next.
Yeah. And also the virtual shows are quite good for seminars. My experience, I had more watchers on my virtual seminars than in real life, because on the show, if your seminar is at 10 in the morning, nobody shows up because they're all hangover. And then on the virtual show, there were some of my seminars was more than 200-300 people watching it. So virtual shows, I think, will stay as an add-on, but of course we need the real shows for the personal touch of the business and to get really, it's more than only business, it's friendship or relationship that building up, and that's what we're missing. So, and on your personal life, how Corona influenced your personal life? I know you have family, so you had more time, I guess, for the family. But tell us a little bit about the changes you had through Corona in your private life.
Yeah, so we had a third kid during Corona. So
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a baby boy in June. So it's been good. It's actually been, in hindsight, it's been actually pretty good on the personal front because, previously I would never be home for dinner. I would just be working. I get home around 6:30, 7 at night and maybe just in time to put the kids to bed. But during Corona, it started this new routine where I was actually getting to the dinner table and having dinner with my family every single night. So it was little things like that, spending a lot of time. It really makes, like, maybe yourself, I mean, as a business owner, it really makes you put things in perspective and sheds light on that work-life balance and like, wow, like, maybe I should spend a little more time at home and fixing these things around the house as opposed to working long hours at the office. I think it kind of gave some insight, and you can have a happy median of the two and still work a lot, but you're doing it all at home. So you don't have to worry about a commute, and you can spend some more time with the family.
I have also to say that all our people from Traffic Partner, they did a great job during the home office. Communication was still there, using Zoom conferences, and they worked very concentrated, and our dating products are skyrocketing. So everything in the Traffic Partner family was working very smooth through Corona. And I think also a lot of business owners will understand that home office is not a bad thing. I think this will change our society a lot in the future.
Yeah, that's one thing I did notice, Andy, is I mean, we're in an industry that we work with so many different types of products. We work with dentists, restaurants, travel agents. Those three industries were hammered when coronavirus hit. Like, they literally shut down their marketing budgets. So we're fortunate in digital marketing, we could pivot. So industries that were not suffering were e-commerce. If you had an online store, you were thriving. Adult was thriving. Any sort of affiliate stuff was doing really well. So as a business, we just had to pivot our energy and attention that way, which is what we did.
Super, Jason. Thank you for this interview. You got now the obligatory 1-minute elevator pitch for Merge Media by Jason Hunt. So your minute, shout it out.
Awesome. Okay, Merge Media, we are a digital marketing agency. We're a do it for you. We take care of everything from Facebook ads, websites, and SEO. Also, we have a referral program where we have partners of ours that are generating thousands a month because they referred partners to us. So if you know people or business owners that are interested in having their digital marketing managed by a company like ours, we give you a kickback. You have to do no work. You just rake in the money. So just reach out to me. You can reach me at jason@merged.ca. I'm on Instagram. Follow me there at jhunt, JAYHUNT official. Check me out there and listen to a podcast, Merge Marketing Podcast.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Jason. And this was the Captain's Interview Lounge, powered by trafficpartner.com. Check out my YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button. Here will you get more videos coming out, and also see my travel videos, which we were missing. Thank you and ahoy. That was the Captain with Jason. See you soon in real life, and stay safe. Bye-bye.